made a splash. The list charts some of the most remarkable events that have made the headlines. Each episode dives into a new story, from the recent past right up to today, and discover there's a lot more behind the biggest and strangest stories. The List. Watch on BBC iPlayer.
Hello, I'm Ben Brown. You're watching The Context here on BBC News.
It is my promise to everyone here, when I am president, we will continue our fight for working families of America.
We're going to evict crazy Kamala, and we're going to get Joe Biden out of the White House.
It's a great honor being president. I think I have an obligation to the country to do the most important thing to do, and that is we must defeat Trump.
Well, to talk through the latest developments in US politics, we have tonight my panelist, Julie Harris, who's president of the National Federation of Republican Women, and Jack Blanchard, the UK editor of Politico. But first, our latest headlines here on BBC News. And President Putin has vowed to kick the enemy out as Ukraine continues its surprise military offensive inside Russian territory. Officials in the Kursk region say more than 120,000 residents have been evacuated so far. 180,000 have been told to leave their homes since the incursion began last Tuesday. A doctor who treated the man who fatally stabbed 3 people in Nottingham in the UK had warned 3 years before the attacks that his mental illness was so severe he could end up killing someone. Valdo Calacane's mother and brother told BBC Panorama it was one of a series of missed opportunities that could have prevented the killings. Several countries are sending firefighters and equipment to Greece, where huge wildfires are burning on the outskirts of Athens. Flames have been spreading for more than 24 hours in hot and very windy conditions, forcing thousands of people to flee from their homes. A man's been arrested after an 11-year-old girl and a woman aged 34 were stabbed in Leicester Square in central London. The girl is being treated in hospital while the woman suffered minor injuries. Police say they don't believe the victims knew their attacker. So in the United States, the latest opinion polls are now suggesting that Kamala Harris has a lead over Donald Trump in 3 battleground states that are key to winning the 2024 race for the White House. The New York Times Siena College poll published on Saturday shows that Harris with 50% support among voters in Michigan, Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, and that is compared to Donald Trump's 46% support in each of those states. Well, it comes as Donald Trump has falsely claimed that a crowd which gathered to see Kamala Harris in Michigan last week did not exist. He said an image showing a large gathering of supporters was fake and AI generated. But the Harris campaign say about 15,000 people were at the event, and news outlets, including the BBC, have reported that those numbers are in line with what they saw. Meanwhile, Donald Trump's campaign has also said that some of its internal communications have been hacked, suggesting that they've been targeted by Iranian operatives. A Trump campaign spokesman told the BBC the documents were illegally obtained by foreign sources hostile to the United States. Iranian officials have denied any connection to the hack. Also over the weekend, in an interview with CBS News, President Joe Biden has been talking about why he dropped out of this year's presidential contest. He said concerns about his age were becoming a distraction from the effort to defeat Donald Trump.
The critical issue for me still is not